Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ma ba'd. Inshallah, today we're going to take the next juz, juz 9. So we stopped juz 10. Why are you confusing?
It is just 10.
Okay, so we're going to take Surah Al-Anfal and Surah most part of Surah Al-Tawbah. So let's quickly recap what we were doing. Two surahs we did yesterday. Araf and Anfal we did. Are you sure? Okay, calm down. The question is, which surah did we do yesterday? Araf and Anfal. Are you sure?
Yeah, we didn't do Anfal.
So which surahs have we done? And before that? An'am. Okay, good. So group 2 we are in now, yeah? Group 2? Do you remember group 1? People, you remember group 1? Think about group 1. Think about Al-Fatiha. I'm not going to go through it. I've been asked not to go through it by keen students, mashallah. They know it, alhamdulillah, already. But when I ask them, they forget. I don't know how that works. But anyway, so group 1 is the Sharia in response to our what? Dua. Good. Then Allah gave us in Surah, Allah Ta'ala gave us in Surah Al-Baqarah what? A framework of the Sharia. What does Sharia mean?
The water path.
The water path, not a water park. Path to water in the desert. Yes, it is the essential path, because without this you will die, isn't it? In the desert, this is the Sharia. This is how important the Sharia is, yeah? We should imagine ourselves we're in the desert, and without Sharia we are going to die. Okay, so Surah Al-Fatiha is the dua. Surah Al-Baqarah gives us the initial framework of the Sharia, which is given here: Iman, Islam, then a vision to convey the message, the objective of this ummah, and then infaq and jihad. Infaq means what? Exhausting all your resources for Allah, for what? Good, shahada ala nas, to convey the message. And jihad is against who?
Shaitan.
Yes, shaitan and his agents, his followers, his people. Okay, Surah Ali Imran tells us how to be united for this vision. Yes, unity. Taqwa, where is taqwa? In the heart. At-taqwa ha-huna. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, At-taqwa ha-huna, at-taqwa ha-huna, at-taqwa ha-huna, 3 times. Taqwa ha-huna means that the heart needs to be improved in Ramadan. Heart needs to be improved in Ramadan. And the heart will be improved by holding fast to the Quran, by giving in, submitting to Allah Ta'ala's guidance, following it, wholehearted submission. As Allah Ta'ala mentioned, In kuntum tuhibbun Allah fattabi'uni yuhibbukum Allah. Submit to Allah Ta'ala's messenger. By following him, Allah will love you. And فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. They will never believe until they make Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam the judge in the disputes, and they find nothing in their hearts. حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ. They have no issue internally in their heart against the decision of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. وَيُسَلِّمُ تَسْلِيمًا. and they will fulfill and they will submit to the decision of the Prophet ﷺ wholeheartedly. Heart. Our problem is our heart is in the wrong place. This is our problem. Our hearts have the problem. And unless we rectify the heart, nothing is going to change. As the Prophet ﷺ said that piece of flesh in the body, if it is healthy, salahat, if it is healthy, salih, salahat jasadu kulluhu, then the whole body will be healthy, wholesome, righteous. In fasadat, then if there's fasad in the heart, then there will be chaos in the body. We are experiencing this chaos. Everybody's selfishness, everywhere selfishness. Me. This is fasad in the heart. Khair. Then the family system given in Surah An-Nisa, this humanity is a family. Allah created nafsin wahida, one soul, وَخَلَقَ مِنْهَا زَوْجَهَا, from that soul he created the mate, and then he created many men and women, and then the role of husband and wife given in Surah An-Nisa, and then all the other relatives or relations that come about after nikah, and their rights and obligations have been given beautifully. But this community, this family can only be one family bond if they love and obey Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we love and obey Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everybody, then we will not have any disputes. And if we have in فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. If you have any disagreement, turn back to what Allah and His messengers say and submit to it, and you will be one body. كَجَسَدٍ وَاحِدًا, it will be like one body. And this one body then in Surah Al-Ma'idah, its objective is, after the deen has been completed, Allah has fulfilled His favor, is to now establish this deen. An aqimud deen. Establish this deen. And the hukum of Allah, which is to establish justice. Yeah? Justice, and give everybody their right as Allah has given. So this is the first group. Second group now talks about, we have the Sharia. It now tells us, how did the Prophet ﷺ achieve this vision of conveying the message? What was his methodology? Yes, and the process when it is completed, it is called Itmam al-Hujjah. What does it mean, Itmam al-Hujjah? Good start. Turning every stone over to what? Look for worms? What? Itmam al-Hujjah. Completion of the? MashaAllah, excellent. To make sure that the recipients, the audience of this message have fully, completely, outwardly, inwardly understood the message without any doubts, without any questions. Now they have been answered, all queries, questions, doubts have been removed, and they know exactly what is the consequence of belief and disbelief. This is Itmam al-Hujjah. And only Allah knows when the Itmam al-Hujjah happens, because only Allah knows what is in the hearts and minds of people. So now this group 2 is telling us the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ in conveying the message. This was given in Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf. And then the consequence of the denial of this message is now I'm going to be talking about that, inshallah, in Surah Al-Anfal and At-Tawbah. Yeah, but we have to understand a few things before we get into that. So you remember from yesterday, this is the summary of Surah Al-A'raf's section on the 6 nations of the past, yeah? 6 nations of the past. Now, with that in mind, this sunnah of Allah, the sunnah of Allah is that Allah Ta'ala, He sends a messenger, a Rasul. A Rasul. He sends a Rasul. Rasul means the sent, the one who is sent with a message. Arsala means to send. Yeah, Arsala, he sent. Rasul, the one that is sent. Allah sends the Rasul, the messenger sent by Allah to a people, to his audience. Yes, his audience. Qawm. Qawm. Quran calls it Qawm. Ya Qawmi, Ya Qawmi, Ya Qawmi. Rasul lives, Rasul is from amongst them. Ba'atha fil ummiyina Rasulun minhum, from them. And then the Rasul conveys the message, does itmam al-hujjah, yeah? Itmam al-hujjah. Completion of the proofs and evidences. By doing what? What is the methodology of the Prophet's dawah? By reminding people. This is called tafkir. Tafkir. Remind people of the signs in the ayat, in the creation. What else before that? In ourselves, in our nafs, anfusi. And then history. Okay? This was done in Surah Al-Anfal, Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf. You see the link now, yeah? Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf does this. This has been done now. This is done by Surah Al-An'am and Surah Al-A'raf, done. What happens after this in the 6 stories we looked at? The people who still don't believe, what happens to them? They are punished, adhab, and then replaced. Very good. Azab of istisal. Adhab, istisal. You know what it means? What does it mean, istisal? I want to write it, but no space. Let me go to the next page. Adhab of istisal. Adhab, punishment, istisal. Istisal. The root of this is asal. What does asal mean? Eh?
Sure.
The root. What is the surah ayah in Surah Ibrahim? كلمة الطيبة كشجرة الطيبة أصلها ثابت. Its roots are firmly fixed. أصلها. Adhab istisal means absolute, completely uproot the nation. Annihilate. Okay? And then what happened after that? After Nuh alayhi salam, that was the first stage of the adhab. What happened after that? The process. Good, replaced by a new people. Good. Istibdal. Istisal and istibdal. 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 Change, replacement. Okay? Istisal and istibdal. Now the question is, let's look at the Sirah timeline. Can we please put the Sirah timeline onto the website so people can access it in the resources section, yeah? Please. Look at this. 13 years in Makkah. Yeah? What was the result of Makkah? What was the success after Makkah? 13 years. How many people? approximately 100 Muslims, mu'mineen, they did hijrah, yeah, approximately, to Medina, yes? After how many years? 13 years. Was it worth it? You're shocked by the question, eh? Good. We have to entertain people. Somebody said to me, can you make it more interactive? Huh? Everybody wants different entertainment. Anyway, 90 to 100 believers, solid, gold, the standard bearers, subhanallah. As-sabiqun al-awwalun. They are the people whom Allah guided to guide us. If they were not 100 there, we would not be Muslim today. Yes? 100 people come to Mecca, so to Medina, and approximately we find a few hundred in Medina now. Yes? And then the Prophet ﷺ, he comes to Medina, first year of Hijri, he establishes himself. He establishes himself. We should understand this seerah because this is how we need to live. We need to establish ourselves wherever we are for a vision. No activity of the Muslim who understands Quran is without purpose. No activity. Every activity has purpose. Yeah? He established himself, created the masjid, created a community, muakhat, brotherhood. You know how much the strong the brotherhood was there? We can't imagine. Today, people will think it's crazy because we're so selfish. May Allah protect us from this disease. Only Allah can protect us from this disease of selfishness. You know where it says in the Quran this? وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ. The person who is saved by Allah from this shuhha nafsi, selfishness. They were ready to give everything to the migrants, to the muhajirin, these ansar, everything. They said, I have a house, I will divide it in two, you take one, I take the other half. I have a business, I split it in half. I have wealth, I have an orchard. Huh? Even to the extent they proposed, they said, I have two wives, I'm ready to divorce one for you. This is how much they meant the brotherhood. Yeah? Subhanallah. If we don't have this heart, then we will achieve nothing. We achieve nothing. We think we are making a lot of progress as a Muslim community because more of our children are educated now. More of our children are degree holders. More of our children are professionals. But you dig deeper and they are selfish, useless to themselves, useless for the ummah, useless for mankind. Khairun nas, what is the rest of the hadith? Khairun nas, man yanfa'un nas. The best of people are people who are beneficial to others, not to themselves. Ukhrijat linnas, Allah Ta'ala says. Kuntum khaira ummatin ukhrijat linnas. What does it mean? Ukhrijat linnas. Am I speaking Punjabi? Ukhrijat linnas. Yes, we have been established for mankind. We have to become selfless, not selfish. The biggest disease that is eroding us internally, internal erosion. You don't even know. Anyway, he established the ummah, built the masjid, the brotherhood, and then he made sure that he was strategic in his peace treaties. And then the second year of Hijri, Battle of Badr. Yes? Battle of Badr. Now, understand this. Nuh alayhi salam, he did hijrah in the ark. What happened? As soon as he was in the ark, what happens? Adab, flood. Yes? And then Hud alayhi salam, he is saved and the rest are destroyed. And Salih, and then Lut. All of these people were told to leave their people now after Itmam al-Hujjah. Yes? Now the Prophet ﷺ, he left his specific audience, didn't he? The Quraysh of Makkah. But did Azab come to them? So there should be a question mark. Why not? How come? This is inconsistent with history. Yes? So what we have to understand is that this adab now, the punishment came, it changed form from direct punishment in terms of the flood, the earthquake, the sound, etc., directly from Allah. It became indirect through the hands of the believers. Yes, indirect through the hands of the believers, number one. The other thing, it was given in installments, not in one go. Okay? The first installment of this adab is in the 2nd year of Hijri, in the Battle of Badr. 2nd Hijri, which month Badr took place? Ramadan, what date? 17th of Ramadan, 17 Ramadan. Yes, 17 Ramadan, Badr. First installment of the adab. Strategic adab. This is called strategic adab. Why? Anybody can comment. Why do you think it's strategic? What happened in Badr? Angels came, but what happened? Why did the angels came? To strengthen the believers for what? To do what? To pick up weights. What for? To fight. To fight who? Quraysh. What happened? Who died? How many? 70 leaders. The leadership was wiped out. First installment is remove the leadership, the corrupt leadership. What was the name given to the corrupt leadership in the 6 nations previously? Mala'a. Mala'a. The common trait was istakbar. Istakbiru. They were arrogant. Yes? 70 leaders were wiped out. What does that mean now? Makkah is without leadership. Abu Jahl was the leader. Yes? Now what happens when there is no corrupt leadership? For the people, the masses, to incite them, to brainwash them. They are now free to think, yes? Understand this? Free to think and make up their own mind. SubhanAllah, look at this. This is Allah Ta'ala's mercy. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, rahmatul lil alameen. He came as a mercy. If Allah wiped out all of the people, all of the mushrikeen, it would have been fine. Even the ones in Makkah. Yes, because this is the adab of istisal, yes? But Allah, His special mercy for this ummah and this messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, He gave them another opportunity. 2nd year of Hijri, 70 leaders are wiped out. So that the Makkah now mushrikeen can think twice. Oh, you see? You see, what happens is that when you actually lose leadership and things actually change your life, like things are changing lifestyle of people with the COVID virus, etc. Yeah? You actually realize that this is a reality, yeah? So Allah Ta'ala is making it easy for people to accept the message. So in the 2nd year of Hijri, we see Badr. This is what we're going to discuss in Surah Al-Anfal in a minute, inshallah. But this is the first installment. Then the second installment of the adhab is in the Battle of Uhud. And then the third installment, there are many other things in between, many battles. These are the main milestones. The Battle of Ahzab, after which the Prophet ﷺ said that these people will not now attack you after this year. You will now be on the offensive after this. So the tables are turning. Yes? And then this Battle of Hudaybiyah, this is a political victory. Inna fatahna laka fatham mubina. A political victory for the believers, because now they are a power to be reckoned with. They have to now enter into negotiation with the believers because they are a power. And then Allah Ta'ala gives a victory to Khaybar. And then the Prophet ﷺ marches into Makkah with 10,000. This also is in Ramadan, subhanAllah. Victorious. So now nobody has any real excuse but to understand the message and see the barakat of the adl, the justice and qist of this deen, and all the impediments of the leadership and their influence. And if you like, to some extent, the media has been removed. People can freely think and they can decide. After this, in Surah At-Tawbah, Allah mentions the Battle of Tabuk, and He gives the last warning to the Quraysh in 9th of Hijri, that if you still don't believe in this messenger, yes, then you will be wiped out, because this is adab istisal. But still Allah shows mercy. He He allows them to leave the Arabian Peninsula, the remit, the specific geographic remit of the Prophet ﷺ. Must understand this phenomenon clearly to understand Surah Tawbah especially. Yeah? I hope it's clear, inshallah. So the first installment is Badr, then many installments, and then the last warning given in the 9th year of Hijri, which coincides with the Battle of Tabuk. Inshallah, we will look at that. So Surah Al-Anfal now. Surah Al-Anfal is the first installment of punishment. Let's look at this surah. Revealed, when is it revealed? You should be able to tell me now. It's about Badr. So it's 2nd year of Hijrah, after Badr, yeah? After the Battle of Badr. Surah Al-Anfal is revealed. Anfal means? Anfal is the plural of Nafal. Nafal, Anfal. Anfal is Jama Mukassar. Okay, anyway. Anfal, yeah? Nafal means what? Extra, super, I can't pronounce it. Yeah? Yeah? Anyway. Anfal means the booty is not what you fight for. It is anfal, it is extra. So in this surah, Allah Ta'ala is telling us the philosophy of jihad, the reason to fight, the mushrikeen, the rules of jihad, how to fight, and encourage the believers to fight, to get rid of fitna and fasad, and everything related to that. Let's take this surah. Inshallah, I asked you to yesterday read this surah with what in mind? Heart. The heart. I hope you did it, yeah? Inshallah. Let's look at this. So, but the Battle of Badr, a brief, very quick, brief history of Battle of Badr, yeah? After the Prophet ﷺ, he came to Medina, the mushrikeen, of course, they were burning and boiling, and they were absolutely going to take revenge now. So they planned and they plotted, and then Abu Sufyan, who was the one of the leaders, he took a caravan from Mecca with the belongings of the Meccan people, especially the Muslimin, to Syria. Was taking a caravan to Syria, from Mecca to Syria, yes? And the Prophet ﷺ, he found out about this through his intelligence. He found out that this is the case, so he intended to intercept that caravan, trade caravan. You need to be quiet. Trade caravan on its way to Syria. But he missed it. The Prophet ﷺ missed it. Okay? So now on the way back from Syria now, the Prophet ﷺ decided to intercept the caravan then. But Abu Sufyan, when he found out about this intention, he sent a messenger galloping at very fast speed to Mecca. And then he came and made a big hoo-ha about this scenario. And this gave the excuse to the mushrikeen leaders to wage all-out war against the believers. So Abu Jahl and his likes, these people, they now had a very good excuse to now attack the believers. And so they came to Badr arrogantly boasting that they had already won and they had wiped out these so-called believers, these people who had run away. Yeah, who had, what's the political term for this? Fugitives. Very good, mashallah. These fugitives, they have run away, so we are going to teach them a lesson. 1,000 of them came fully armed and ready, and the Prophet ﷺ, he came out of Medina to Badr to intercept a caravan with the 313 believers who were obviously not armed because they came to intercept a caravan. They didn't come to fight a war. Yes? Okay? So Allah Ta'ala, He wanted this to happen. Surah Al-Anfal says, Allah, He had already decided that this battle will take place, Badr, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, whatever. And Allah made sure that you fought this battle to make the truth to be known to be the truth, لِيُحِقَّ الْحَقِّ, and for the batil, the true falsehood, to be known to be falsehood, and to start to dismantle this batil. Yes, so with this in mind, first ayat, very, very important of this surah about belief. And we mentioned, let's think of this with the heart, yeah? Anfal. They ask you about the Anfal, tell them this is Allah and His messengers, you don't need to worry about it. What you need to worry about is fattaqullah. Fear Allah wa aslihu dhata bainikum. Make sure that you are strong with each other. Aslihu dhata bainikum. Make sure that you are one body. And obey Allah and His messenger if you are believers. And then Allah Ta'ala is telling us who are the true believers. Look at the qualities of the true believers. Make a note. The qualities of the true believers has not been mentioned anywhere in the Quran with such emphasis as in this surah. This is the surah if we want to be true believers. Ayat 2, 3 and 4 plus ayat 74. Which ayat?
70.
No, before that.
234.
2, 3, 4 and 74. It's a nice rhyme, you won't forget, yeah? 2, 3, 4 and 74. If you take these together, these give us the characteristics of the true believers that nowhere else in the Quran have been mentioned with such emphasis. Haqqa, haqqa, haqqa. Yeah? Innamal mu'minuna. Indeed, the believers are only those people. Alladhina idha dhukira Allahu wajilat qulubuhum. It all starts with the heart. When Allah is mentioned, their hearts, they shiver. Wajilat is a type of fear which is internal, nobody sees it. Wajilat is that which is inside. It is not apparent to the people outside, it is inside. Subhanallah al-Azim. This is the connection of the believer with Allah. And number 2 characteristic, وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ. When the Qur'an's ayats are recited to these believers, زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Their iman increases. The iman in the heart increases. The love of Allah increases. The fear of Allah increases. The obedience of Allah increases. وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And upon their Lord alone they rely. They rely on nothing else, because they know only Allah has all power and ability. So this is the internal state of the believers, and in their action, الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. They establish the prayer to keep this connection with Allah. أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِ إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. And to keep away from any obscenity and munkar, evil. وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. And from that which Allah has given, they spend in the cause of Allah. Allah Ta'ala says, أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا. These are the true believers. Haqqa is a certification from Allah. لَهُمْ دَرَجَاتٌ إِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ وَمَغْفِرَةٌ. Allah Ta'ala, He gives them their ranks according to their belief and forgives them. وَرِزْقٌ كَرِيمٌ. And He will give them an honorable dwelling in this life, and more importantly in the hereafter. Allahumma rabba ja'alna minhum. Allah, make us from amongst these people. Ameen. And in the last section, ayah 74, we will find that it elaborates the external efforts of the believers. Yeah? الَّذِينَ آوَوا وَالنَّصَرُوا وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا وَإِذَا قُلْنَا. Anyway, let's go to it. Why stress the Hafiz out? He's already stressed for Tarawih. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. The believers, وَهَاجَرُوا. They did jihad, they did hijrah. Hijrah is to leave what Allah is displeased with towards what Allah is pleased with. وَجَاهَدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And they fight in Allah's cause. وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا. And those who helped them, sheltered them. Awaw, sheltered them, the Muhajir, the Ansar. وَنَصَرُوهُ. The Ansar helped them. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةٌ وَرِزْقٌ كَرِيمٌ. So the ideal Muslims are the Muslims of that time. And this will be elaborated further in Surah At-Tawbah. وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَمَنْ تَبِعَهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. May Allah make us from these people. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Okay. So Allah Ta'ala wanted this battle to take place so that the haqq and batil would be clearly known. Here Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَيُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَن يُحِقَّ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ وَيَقْطَعَ دَابِرَ الْكَافِرِينَ. He wanted the truth to be known, and He wanted to annihilate the disbelievers. لِيُحِقَّ الْحَقَّ وَيُبْطِلَ الْبَاطِلَ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. Even though these criminals, the criminal mushrikeen, but they committed the biggest crime, which is to do shirk, Allah Ta'ala wanted to make it clear who is on the truth and who is on the falsehood. And make a note, since the previous surah, I forgot to mention, this word haqq and batil has started to come in. Yeah? And the third group of surahs after Tawbah is all about haqq and batil. So there's a link here, connection. And then there's a commentary on the Battle of Badr. And then Allah Ta'ala, He mentions the heart again. Allah Ta'ala sent the angels. وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرًا. He sent the angel as the good news. وَلِتَطْمَئِنَّ بِهِ قُلُوبُكُمْ. And to put your hearts at rest. You know, this surah is amazing. It's so much about the heart. Because Allah Ta'ala, He is commenting on the internal feelings of the believers. The internal feelings of the believers in the heart. Allah is commenting on those in this surah. And how He strengthened the hearts of the believers. وَمَن نَصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. And then Allah Ta'ala, He sends another blessing when He sends the drowsiness upon the believers. And after that, in the end of the surah, وَيَرْبِطَ عَلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ. And He made our hearts steadfast, ready for battle. And He وَيُثَبِّتَ بِهِ الْأَقْدَامِ. And when the hearts are strong, yes, then the foothold is strong. Wars are won by the heart, not by the weaponry. Yes? And hearts are won by the heart, not through weaponry. And Allah Ta'ala, what is He doing for the hearts of the believers? Making them tranquil, steadfast, and look what He's doing to the hearts of the disbelievers. إِذْ يُوحِي رَبُّكَ إِلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ عَنِّي مَعَكُمْ فَثَبِّتُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا سَأُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الرُّعْبَ. He put into the hearts ru'b, terror. He cast terror into the hearts of the disbelievers, the mushrikeen. Yes? Okay, moving on. 20 and 22. Allah Ta'ala is saying, oh, you who believe, Ya alladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa rasulahu wa la tawallaw anhu. Obey and follow the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah and His Messenger, obey them and do not turn away from them. Wa antum tasma'un. While you hear. Yeah. Now it's important why I'm saying while you hear, because this is listening of the heart. Yes, not just the physical. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ قَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَهُمْ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ. Because Allah compares it with those people, the disbelievers and the munafiqeen, who listen but they don't listen. They listen with the ears but the heart doesn't listen. And then more mention of the heart. إِنَّ شَرَّ الدَّوَابِّ. It's interesting, I was thinking, why Allah Ta'ala, He mentioned Inna sharra dawab and not Inna sharra nas, the worst of mankind. He didn't say that, did He? He said Inna sharra dawab, the worst of all His creatures. Because if a person is categorized as human, he's still better than the animal. Yeah? But sharra dawab means from all the creatures of Allah, the worst. Who are the worst, the most evil? As-summul bukmul ladina la yaqilun, whose hearts are deaf and blind and dumb, and they do not reason. The heart doesn't reason what is right and wrong. And then Allah Ta'ala made this scary ayah. It's a very scary ayah. May Allah protect us. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu istajibu lillahi wa lirrasul. Oh, you who believe, respond to Allah and His Messenger. Ya idha da'akum lima yuhyikum. When He calls to you for that which gives you life, He calls you for your benefit. And then there's a warning. Wa'lamu. Be warned. Anna Allaha yahulu bayna al-mar'i wa qalbih. Allah, He can intervene between the man and his heart, as the hadith mentioned. Sahih hadith, in which the Prophet ﷺ, he said, the hearts are in between the two fingers of Allah. He turns the heart as He wishes, where He wishes. We should ponder on this. What is Allah Ta'ala calling us to? What is He inviting us to? How are we responding to Allah and His Messenger? Maybe this is why we have become a selfish nation. Absolutely selfish in every aspect of our lives. Because Allah has sealed our hearts. May Allah protect us from that. And no matter what is said to us, we don't heed, we don't take lesson, we don't care, we have no change in our behavior. And then another aspect of the heart, Allah Ta'ala is telling the believers, I know what you are feeling. وَاذْكُرُوا إِذَا أَنْتُمْ قَلِيلٌ مُسْتَضْعَفُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. I know when you were small in number and you were weak in Mecca. تَخَافُونَ. You feared this in your hearts, that mankind around you, they would snatch you, abduct you, get rid of you. But Allah Ta'ala says, He sheltered you, He helped you through the Ansar. And then another aspect of the heart, وَاعْلَمُوا. Tell me what you think, is this, how this is related to the heart. وَاعْلَمُوا. Know, أَنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ. You should know that your properties and your children are a test. How is this related to the heart? Because you're attached to this. You love this. You love money, you love wealth. You love your children. They're a test for you to see if your heart is in the right place or not. If you use this properly, then Allah Ta'ala is saying, إِنَّهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. There is a great reward. Okay, moving on to 31 to 33. I will skip that. This is about the disbelievers calling for the adhab, and now the adhab has come. And then ayah 41 starts the Juzz, and it talks about the division of the anfal, the booty. 1/5 of it goes to the state, the rest of it goes to the mujahideen. Simple as that. Okay, ayah 45 about dhikr. When you are in the battlefield, your heart should be attached to Allah. How? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha laqitum fi'atan fathbutu. When you, O believers, you meet the enemy and they are in front of you, you stand steadfast. Wadhkurullaha kathiran. And remember Allah much. Yes? And the organ of remembrance is the heart. Keep your heart with Allah. Keep Allah in your heart and mind. So you would be successful. وَأَتِيُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. And obey Allah and the Messenger. This has been mentioned many times in this surah. أَتِيُوا اللَّهَ وَأَتِيُوا الرَّسُولَ. And do not dispute, because if you do that, you will lose courage and you will lose your strength. And this is exactly the wording used in which surah about which battle? Ahad. Very good. In which surah? Ali Imran. Ali Imran. Okay. So we mentioned 46 and then 48. Shaitan, he came with the Quraysh. He was encouraging them. He was saying that nobody will win over you today. But then when he sees the angels, he ran off. He ran off. Yeah, he fled. He left them, and he deserted them, just as he does. He deserts. He deserts as soon as he knows that he is going to be punished. He deserts the people who follow him. And Allah Ta'ala is saying to the believers, you believe in Allah, you rely on Allah, but you do your best in your preparation. وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِّبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ. You make sure that you are strong and you have all the things that you need, all the military might, so you would become a deterrent to the enemy. And those enemies that you don't know of yet. So you should be a strong believer and a strong Muslim ummah. And this is an amazing ayah, subhanallah, about the heart. Read this ayah to yourself. I'll give you a minute. Look at this. وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Allah Ta'ala is saying, He brought their hearts together. Allafa. Allafa, I was thinking, I'm not sure, I'm just thinking out loud. It seems like Allafa is like saying Alif, and Alif is one. Yeah? One. So Allah Ta'ala, He made the hearts one. لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم ولكن الله ألف بينهم. If you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you believers, if you were to spend everything on the earth and do your best, yes, do whatever you can, team building, etc., etc., no matter what you were to do, you would not have been able to join the hearts as one. But Allah Ta'ala, He gave this blessing to the believers because they believe in Allah, they obey Allah, they believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they obey him. And then when they all obey Allah and the Messenger, the hearts will be joined together. Because they love what Allah loves and they dislike what Allah dislikes. And when everybody loves what Allah loves and dislikes what Allah loves, dislikes, then of course they will love each other. SubhanAllah, look at that. It's amazing. Our unity will not come without Quran and loving Allah and His Messenger. It won't come otherwise. It's not possible. This ayah is telling us, otherwise you can do anything else you want, nothing will do it. And then the last ayah that I mentioned already, 74, these are the believers. Allah Ta'ala is saying, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَهَاجَرُوا وَجَاهَدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. The believers are those in the first section, ayahs 2, 3, 4, yeah? And then now this, who did hijrah for Allah, they fight for Allah's cause. And the cause of Allah is what? I didn't mention the ayah in this surah, but it is in this surah. What is the objective of this jihad? لِكَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. لِكَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. This will come in Surah Tawbah, this phrase, لِكَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. To make Allah's word the top. Okay, we have a few minutes. Let's talk about Surah Tawbah. Surah Tawbah. Let's look at the diagram of Surah Tawbah. Surah Tawbah is revealed between 8 to the 9th Hijri. After Hijri, yeah? Part of it is revealed before the Fatha of Makkah, part of it. Part of it is, this is 8th of Hijri, yeah? And then in the 9th of Hijri, part of it is revealed before the Battle of Tabuk. Part of it is revealed after the Battle of Tabuk. And part of it is revealed after that, before the Hajj of the 9th of Hijrah. Okay? This surah is the last warning to the Quraysh, the specific audience of the Prophet ﷺ. It is also a last invitation to the people of the book to believe or to then give jizya, tax. And it is a last warning, and it is also known to be a surah. Scholars mention it, that this is the surah, I forget the Arabic term, that uncovers the munafiqeen. This is the surah that also uncovers the munafiqeen, the hypocrites. So we'll find these phenomena in this surah. Now, what happened in the 8th of Hijri? Prophet ﷺ entered to Makkah, but before that, ayat 7 to 24. So ayat 7 to 24. Let's look at the diagram here. 7 to 24, if I just write it here. Ayat 1 to 6, I will mention in a minute. Sorry, this pen is subhanallah. Ayat 1 to 6, I'll mention in a minute. 7 to 24. These are regarding the time period 8th Hijrah before the conquest of Makkah, to prepare the believers and tell them why you are going to go and conquer Makkah. Okay? And to prepare them. Yes? The first 6 ayat are the last warning. They are the last warning given in 9th of Dhul Qa'dah. Dhul Qa'dah is the month before Dhul Hijjah, yeah? 9 Dhul Qa'dah. Just before Hajj. And then the ayat from 25 to 37 ayahs 25 to 37 will then further elaborate the warning, yeah? Further elaborate this warning given to the mushrikeen. And then 38, ayah 38 to the end is pre and post the book, which is 9 Hijri, but it was Rajab, which was before Dhul Qa'dah. Yeah, before Dhul Qa'dah. So chronologically, if I use brown for that, chronologically, this happened first, then this happened, and then this and this happened last, chronologically, yeah? I hope it doesn't confuse you. It's important to know this, otherwise we can very easily misunderstand the ayat and the meaning and the context, etc. But I think we run out of time. Subhanallah. Khair. Inshallah, it is worth us spending tomorrow on Surah Tawbah. It is worth it, inshallah, to understand Surah Tawbah. So your job now, brothers and sisters, is tomorrow you have to go through this surah. If you have the diagram, excellent. Go through the surah with this order in mind. Make your notes, make your whatever you think is important in the surah. If you get time, read the introduction given by Maulana Maududi to Surah Tawbah. It is a good, it sets the scene nicely. It gives you nice context to understand this surah in, and he gives a nice breakdown to understand it.